Greetings, YouTube. Today, I am a star-bellied sneech. I'm going to be reviewing a couple of gaming magazines today. I would like to thank the editor, Peter Spahn, for sending me a couple of copies. So I did receive these as review copies. I just want everyone to know that. Alrighty, so I think do I have these in order? No, okay, now I have them in order. These are Brave the Labyrinth, issue number 1 and issue number 2, and these are geared towards the Labyrinth Lord game, which is solidly in the old school D&D arena. However, any version of D&D or a fantasy game could probably benefit from this, because there are going to be things presented to you that will be inspirational, even if you cannot use the mechanics directly. So what do we get in the table of contents? I'll look at the table of contents as my notes today. We have greetings from the editor. We have Simak the Subverter, a warping collection of spells and a disturbing new magic item. Dirty Secrets of the Mages Guild, what happens when a mage's experiment goes horribly wrong, and don't they always go horribly wrong? The Catacombs, an unstocked labyrinth to brave, and maps are always welcomed. In fact, I had someone recently contact me asking me where I suggested they should find maps. Well, here you go, folks. Maps. The Sunland Society, an NPC party of fun-loving halflings, or are they? New magic items, a collection of new magical treasures that will affect your beauty and open your eyes. Animal retainers, an adventurer's best friend, and that was quite interesting. The idea of having retainers as animals as opposed to just pets, so that they're going to be deeper and more complex members of the party than just, the dog. Though I did have a guy who used to play Chuck's elf. Chuck's elf. He also played Chuck's monk. Character sheets. A new character sheet for Labyrinth Lord. Better than starving, or is it a barely palatable house rule for desperate characters? The Screams from Jedder's Hole. A creepy dungeon adventure full of Morlocks, undead, and something else. And then a review of the Burial Mound of Ishur the Red by Peter Spahn himself. Now, if I make sure I get the right one. I do. Okay, and in the second issue, we have more greetings from the editors. Neem the Inscrutable. Neem is a good name. A mind-boggling collection of illusionist spells and new magic items. Bloros and their brood. Blue Rose? I can't know if I'm saying that right. An eye-catching race of new monsters and their all-seeing gods. The village of Aldris, an unstocked village map from which to venture forth and brave the labyrinth. The Voltharak, an elite company of orcs who hunt adventurers, which is always appreciated by every GM. The Gods of the Known Lands, a ready-made pantheon that can be dropped into any new campaign. Zero-level humans instead of new rules for creating everyday folk. The Fortress of Hawksford, which is also a good name. An unstocked fortress town map for adventurers needing to regroup. 6 short articles on gaming and being a better gamer. New magic items of the known lands, a key, sword, a few cloaks, and a throne to spice up your treasure hoards. Caravan of the Setting Sun, a creepy locale with carnivalesque themes, and more reviews. A review of the GT2 Come Hell or High Water. Again, more resources for old school Labyrinth and Lord style games. These are very reasonable priced. In fact, if I remember correctly, you can actually just put in any quantity you want to pay for them. I think I got this from RPG Now, if I'm not incorrect. But these are a real value for anyone that plays a old school style D&D game. And again, I think that this is inspirational for any kind of version or edition of D&D, or anyone that plays a fantasy game, whether you're using HARP or BRP or Savage Worlds or what have you. Lots of people use lots of different engines to run fantasy games. I hear people actually play GURPS Fantasy. And I think that they're going to be inspirational and useful to anybody who is into the fantasy genre. And as I said, I found a couple of the articles particularly interesting. The Retainers one and some of the magic items made me smile. I have to admit, there's a certain simplistic beauty with some of the style of the old school games, even though I prefer the crunch of things like Pathfinder myself. But you know, we're all different. So go out there and get yourself a couple of copies of Brave the Labyrinth. I think you're going to enjoy it. And again, I would like to thank Peter. And I apologize, he gave these to me quite a while ago to review, and I just had not had time to get around to reading them. And last week at Starbucks, while hanging out with my wife and our friends, I actually had a chance to take a look at them. The beauty of having access to a notebook I can take with me. So go forth and get yourself some old school gaming magazines.